Hello everyone, this is Redact and this game is called Suzerain. Last episode, what did we do? We had some meetings with various advisors. Apparently the economy is complete trash. I blame my economic advisor for that one. But things seem to be cooling down internally in terms of protests and things like that. I don't think those arseholes in the north are going to do anything soon. The army's with me. We're going to start targeting the Supreme Court, see if we can find any good shit on them. So yeah, let's resume and see where it takes us. So I think we read the news. So I think we can just continue and see what happens. Let's do it. Revelations. Oh my goodness. What could this all be about? Don't know. The revelation that I am truly their saviour. The one and only Redact. Yes. Alright. So what's going on in the news? Queen Beatrice demands reparations for century-old allegation war crimes. The Queen of Rumburg, Beatrice Livingston, brought up the Sordland incident of 15-day war, 19th the forgotten century debate of Swordish war crimes. She spoke about the need for peace and change. Eastern Macopa. The way forward can only be walked if past atrocities are finally settled. Ha! No. Queen Livingston claimed the Swordish army in 1870 had massacred ethnic Rums with plans of committing genocide. Sordland still hasn't claimed any responsibility for their past war crimes, said the Queen, and demanded reparations be paid. Yeah. Good luck with that. According to reports, the riots in Helgeland have already resulted in the arrest of thousands. The number of deaths is believed to have been surpassed 100. Agnonian government has still not released a statement about the bloody conflict. The riots in Helgeland have exploded out of proportion. The aftermath of the murder of a Velgisht Helgelander. Majority of the arrests and deaths belong to the Velgisht community on the island. The governor claimed the riots were being incited and supported by the Vagslandian government. Okay, well, let's see what else is going on. Massive miscommunication between the interior has resulted in a failed raid in Vesord. The Ministry of Defence and Interior both put the blame on each other. There will be a gathering soon to resolve the ongoing dispute. Okay, they didn't like me transferring them over. Okay, is that everything? No, there's something over here. Okay, what do they want? Call for reparations. Yeah. Not gonna happen. Sorry, love. Departure of the President's son from home. It was a cloudy, rainy day in Holsord. But neither the gloomy weather nor the unfolding protests could dampen my spirits following my recent court win. That wasn't the only cause for excitement in the Rain household. Today, Frank was finally leaving home. Finally, good riddance. My son piled the last of his bags next to the door. Serge and the assistants were waiting outside next to the car. Did you pack everything? Don't forget to give me a call immediately after you arrive. Mum, I'm moving less than an hour away. You'll see me all the time. I know, but it won't be the same. Monica helped him put his backpack on while Serge started carrying the luggage to the car. I made you a sack lunch. I'll get it from the kitchen. A sack lunch? She dashed down the hall. Frank and I turned to face each other in the doorway. So I guess this is it. You're going to do great. Thanks, Dad. Frank shifted his weight nervously. I still haven't forgotten what you told me about your university years. I hope Household State gives me the chance to prove myself. The same way you did. For your sake, I hope the chance never comes. Don't do anything stupid. Don't model your life on mine. You're your own man. Don't have to prove yourself to anyone, especially not to me. Frank smiled. Alright, Dad. At that moment, Deanna rushed to the door. Frank, I'm going to miss you. I'll miss you too. Don't forget you got to give Mum and Dad an extra hard time for both of us now. Deanna nodded. Okay. Frank picked up his sister and gave her a big hug. Monica appeared in the doorway holding a paper bag. I cut the crust off your sandwich just the way you used to like. I'm not a kid anymore, Mum. Can't a mother pretend? Oh, Frank. She embraced him with tears in her eyes. Frank looked as if he was about to cry as well. Serge approached. So, as per the schedule, Frank needs to be at the Whole Sword State University to start his orientation in an hour. We'll have to leave now to make it. Thank you, Serge. Always be polite. Frank turned around and took one last look at me. Make me proud. Say nothing. Good luck. See you soon. Make me proud. Go on. You go and do whatever you want. Alright? Frank nodded, headed to the car. Difficult to see them grow and leave, isn't it? It's not like we will never see them again. The home will feel a bit empty now. It's time for him to find himself in the world. He will. We all did, after all. Leaving away from home, making your choices for the first time, it changes a man. I think it would be a liberating experience for him. It's never easy for boys to live in the shadow of their fathers, and I am a huge shadow. And it must be harder when one's father is Anton Rain. A great man like you casts a very long shadow, I do indeed. Not everyone thinks that. That's enough, Serge. Just do your job. Well said. Yes, well said. He nodded and looked at his watch. Time to go. Frank waved his hand as he entered the car. The engine started and they were on their way. Monica stood next to me as they drove away. Her eyes were teary. There he goes. It already feels different. She put her head on my shoulder. I know, he'll be fine. We still have each other. Stroke her hair. We still have each other, my love. She turned to me, kissed me on the cheek and put her head on my shoulder again. All the protests going on, I hope we will be alright. There's still protests, huh? Okay. We watched for a few more minutes, even after the car was no longer in sight. I sighed and closed the door. Construction completed? Oh my goodness, did we just do something good? Did we? Codex entry. This is about family. Frank. Currently studies Swordist literature. Okay. What else happened? Something else happened? I think something happened, didn't it? Viacland might be preparing for... Yeah, we've completed the thing, finally. Helgen condemns Helgeland government, threatens intervention. Chancellor of Valgsland. This guy. They're arguing about that island, aren't they? If I remember. Magnolia went too far. They are massacring our people. The Alliance of Nations continues to allow this. Valgsland will intervene in the island to protect her people. This was the last straw. Arcasian and United Contouring governments are believed to be in close contact with both leaders to calm the situation. Superpowers cannot find a solution. The Marking Sea may plunge into chaos. No, I'm not around, so we can't do that. Yeah, it looks like we completed that. Military. What happened? Dispute with the interior. Right, there's some sort of dispute. Okay, that's fine. Modernization, order, organized crime. Large corporations creating jobs. Thanks to our tax break, major corporation opening more positions. Good. Recovered trade volume, stagnated production. Yeah, that's plummeting, but we're doing something. No, we just did the thing. We just did the thing. Come on. Alright, let's see what's going on. Many intelligence to report a massive buildup of landing vehicles and navy ships at the port of Wilburn on Vangsland. Our agents are suspecting a massive naval military invasion of Helge Island or Agnolia in the future. It's not fully confirmed, as the build-up could be a mock exercise to divert eyes from elsewhere. Our covert agents will monitor the situation on the ground for as long as possible. Okay. So can I get some benefit from building this railway, please? How do I find out? I don't think I can. Yeah, I could write notes, but doesn't matter. Alright, let's... Oh, read the report. Here we go. The long-awaited L1 railway running from Holsord to Lachevin has been completed. Holsord connected to the country's biggest port at Lachevin. Business in the region are expected to gain a significant boost. Thank you. Even though there have been some issues causing it to be delayed, Sordland State Cooperation has delivered its promise. Yes! Opening of the L1 railway. Yes! I'm amazing. It was finally happening. Tomorrow would be the grand opening ceremony of the L1 high-speed rail. Though the construction delay had taken its toll on our morale, this was still a proud moment for all of us. Simon and Gus, who had been heavily assisted in the project, come to discuss the ceremony plans with Lucian and myself. Lucian stood up. So he's Minister of the Economy, he's Minister of Rural Development, he's Chief Strategist. Okay. First of all, this day might have arrived later than expected, but it doesn't change the fact that we are here now. This is still a big success. Congratulations, everyone. To many more projects like this. Well done, everyone. We could have done this without our excellent team. Exactly. Exactly, Redact. Indeed. Let's move on with our plans for the opening tomorrow. Long time since the last successful infrastructure project. From a public relations point of view, we can certainly capitalise on the occasion. I have a plan on how to do that. The President accepts. Driving the first high-speed train to Lachevin would be great for our image nationwide. What are your thoughts? I don't support anything beyond the opening ceremony. The railway's completion speaks for itself. But I see your point. But involving the President further could be beneficial for the administration. I think so too, Mr. President. I agree. Get me on that train. Yes. Everyone will love me more. Very well. Sounds fantastic. The President arriving in Lachevin, the driver's seat would make the headlines for sure. Additionally, a large crowd has been invited to the ceremony. We're watching the opening speech. Nothing like a cheerful crowd. I'm looking forward to it. It would be a good opportunity for exposure, like the good old campaign days. Yeah, I guess we can't avoid that. Yes, good opportunity for exposure. Agreed. Every single press outlet has, of course, been notified and they will be there. Another note, it goes without mentioning this was a team effort. Beginning with the President, who put his trust in me. I want to thank all who were involved in L1. Simon, you deserve the credit. After all, it was you who came up with the project. Thank you for your kind words. It truly means a good deal. Thank you. Yeah, just take all the credit. Yeah, no, well done, Simon. You deserve credit. We had our disagreements, but the important thing was the outcome. Swordish people have been waiting a long time for this. We will show our best face tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'll make sure that our message about improving the countryside gets across. Alright then, we have a lot of work to do. See you tomorrow morning. Once again, good work everyone. We all dispersed in order to prepare for the big day. The next morning a stage had been erected inside the central station. It's a sunny day in our usually cloudy capital city. The crowd looked quite large. I spotted many party members. We took our places on stage. Signal for Lucian to begin the ceremony. I gave the green light and the opening address began. Brothers and sisters of Sordland, I welcome you Holsordians today as a proud servant of this country. Lucian's voice echoed in the central station. Thousands of Sordland and USP flags began to wave as the loud cheers intensified. Without further ado, I invite the President of Sordland to the stage. I walked to the podium. I walked up to the podium to address the crowd. The press was taking dozens of pictures. Holsordians, welcome to the opening ceremony of the L1 high-speed railway. Citizens, welcome to the opening ceremony. People of Sordland, welcome to the opening ceremony. People of Sordland, citizens. Does it really matter? People of Sordland, welcome. Chanting and excitement from the crowd intensified. A large group began singing the national anthem. Beginning of this journey, we promise jobs and opportunity. Trust me, our work is far from over. This project is only the beginning. Yes, it is. We built this railroad to generate to create economic growth throughout Greater Holsword and Galsline region. Yes. Thanks to this railway, travel between Holsword and Latchavin is now twice as fast and endlessly more comfortable. Thanks to this railway, thousands of new jobs have been created. Yes. None of this would be possible without the sound advice of my cabinet member, Gus Manager. Ensuring the success of the project wasn't just one of my presidential goals, it was my personal priority. It's all about me. Yes, my personal priority. The crowd began cheering my name. Lucian took my place on the stage to close the ceremony. Citizens of Holsword, there you have it. As promised, Anton Rain, the 4th President of Sordland, has delivered. He walked towards the line where the first electric train was waiting. A red ribbon was hanging by the door of the train. Simon handed me an oversized pair of scissors. I cut the ribbon, triggering a wave of cheers from the crowd. The cameras flashed. Congratulations to all. Hopefully this success will lead to many more. It's a good moment indeed. We have helped so many in the countryside. The train is prepared, sir. The journey to Latchavin should take 4 hours. The rest of us will be on the train as well. Get in the train. I entered the cab and took a seat with the assistant beside me. The crowd was trying to get a glimpse of me through the window. Who do you want to travel with in the cab, Mr. President? Lucian, I want you to ride with me. I want to have Simon in the car like Gus with me. I will drive it on my own. Of the economy, rural development, chief strategist. Who did I congratulate for it? I don't remember. Oh, no. Okay, don't know. Don't know. Should I... Minister of the Economy, Minister of Rural Development, Chief Strategist. He's on my side anyway. Let's have Simon with me. This is necessary, but I won't refuse. We can talk about future economic projects. Oh, how boring. Okay. The locomotive assistant flipped a few switches and the train began pulling out to the central station. Simon smiled awkwardly at the press photographers as I drove. The new train was in pristine condition. Its electric engine provided the smoothest ride I'd ever had. After uneventful 4 hours on board, we were welcomed by a throng of citizens. The railway officially opened to the public right after we left, and thousands began using it. It was a great victory for my administration. It certainly was. I am victorious as usual, as is always the case. What's going on here? Discussion on changes to the law. Right, what's going on with the news? President Rain opens the long-awaited L1 railway. In the grand ceremony, President Rain declared the L1 railway open with his aides on his side and executives from the Sordland State Corporation. After ribbon cutting, he delivered a heartfelt speech and brought attention to the capabilities of the administration. Following his speech, President Rain had driven a train on the new railroad for the first time. Even though the L1 railway is overdue, the fact it is expected to boost the economic activity between the largest cities in Sordland cannot be denied. Thus, it has been happily welcomed by the citizens. Sordland State Corporation finally finishes the L1 railway. Finally finished the construction, leaving much to be desired in terms of accuracy, quality and punctuality. We are unsure why the President decided to pick a company other than Underhaul Construction. L1 Railway expected to boost production in between the largest cities in Sordland and happily welcomed by the citizens. President Rain personally drove a train for the first time after a speech highlighting the opportunities this new logistics overhaul will bring. However, the President can have witnessed the fruits of his labour during his term is yet to be seen. Economics predict most of the benefits can only be seen in upcoming years. Bullshit. It's going to happen pretty much immediately. It's got to. Lucian and I sat in my office waiting for Peter. I was at my desk and he was on the sofa, legs crossed. Sir, I have some news for you. Mr. Hall and I have been working on several possible plans to boost the economy, as is our focus. It's currently compiling a very detailed report with suggested projects. I'll make sure you have a chance to see it soon. He looked at his watch again. Looks like Mr. Vice President is late yet another time. He lowered his voice. I am slightly concerned about Peter. He seems to have his mind occupied. He's been late to almost every meeting we've had recently. I need to talk to him in private sometime. I know Peter well, there's nothing to be concerned about. I don't know what's wrong, but I also do not appreciate him being late on the stream. Yeah, I'm going to talk to him. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. It's Peter. He walked inside with files in both hands. Gentlemen! Welcome, Peter. Have a seat. Thank you. Placed the files on my table, took out several documents and organised them in front of me. Here's everything, just as you asked. Our plans for the next reforms. You can enact new major laws with your emergency powers. You have enough political capital now. What are your thoughts, Anton? Let's go over the documents. Ooh! The old guard will not execute this presidential power. You can select 7 laws to enact. Relocation of teachers and doctors to rural areas. -1 government budget. Bulgaria is a volatile region and seeks special administration attention by passing a new decree designating it a special zone. Administration can exercise extraordinary privileges to increase the executive authority of the governor. Gun ownership rights. Currently, citizens aren't allowed to own guns except for licensed hunters. The decree will allow each citizen to the right to bear arms after a base background check. Machine guns would require special permits. Why would I need that? Capital punishment. Capital punishment is outlawed in the 40s, but a new decree can reinstate it for high crimes if dangerous criminals were found guilty under it through a fair judicial process. Remove independence of the central bank. Central bank is independent to determine the monetary policies of the country. A new decree will remove the independence of the central bank by putting it under the presidency, giving the executive more direct control over monetary strategy. Interesting. Right, because they won't do some of this stuff. Okay. We're not fair trade and commission. Fair trade and commerce is one of the few regulatory measures resulting in unfair competition at times. A new Fair Trade Commission can be established via decree to push for a fair market competition by protecting local industries through new regulations. Wow, rural education institutes -2 budget. Not even going to read that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Allow private prisons. Yeah, because I think they're overcrowded. Yeah, we could have private prisons and I'll get more money for that. Okay. Yes. Low retirement. No, can't do that. Swordist Radio and Television Supreme Council. The freedom of speech is protected in Sordland, but with the rise of new media, private organisations gained a massive influence on society. New decree, we could create a government agency, the SOSC, protect the independence of the media or control it. I already have a deal with that other guy. I'm not spending any more money. I might do this one. Just to keep it under control. Capital punishment, remove independence, fair trade and commission. Can't do that. Free prescription medicine, not spending money on any of this. Remove the independence by putting it under the president, giving the executive more direct court over monetary strategy. That might give me a bit more power over the economy. Capital punishment. That would also reduce the number of people in the prisons, wouldn't it? Yeah, we've got the high-speed rail. But it's not too bad. I don't think we need to do that. Remove independence of the central bank. Capital punishment. Fair trade. No, because that wasn't one of our manifesto things anyway. We were going to nationalize and stuff, so I don't want to do that. This costs money. I don't know why we need to do that. I think having allowed private prisons getting more money, that would be helpful. Or protect the independence of the media. With a new decree, we could create a government agency, the RSC that could protect the independence of the media or control it. I think we need something to do with the economy, so let's do those. Yes. Following a brief discussion, I took notes about my decisions. These are some big changes, Anton. Basically the new regional structure you're talking about. Going to create a lot of problems, sir. We will have all bloody citizens against us. It will probably agitate the militants in Bergia as well. This will have more benefits than problems. Yes, trust me. Yes, sir. Also, the central bank gained its independence during Alfonso's term. Backtracking from that decision so quickly might be damaging. But it will help us control the economy better. Exactly. The state should have significant control over its money to be able to plan ahead. Edith will be pissed. He laughed. But anyway. And there's a privatization of the prison system. Now that's going to be controversial. The increased number of detainees is pushing the state prisons to their limits. At least this will lift the burden from the government and give me money. Stopped for a moment and looked up. So he was trying to figure out which words to use. Well, we both respect your decisions, Anton. Now that that's everything settled, I should get to work. We'll catch up soon. Lucian looked at his watch. We actually have 6 more minutes. But very well, let's call it here. Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, Lucian. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, thank you both. Thank you all. Yes. Right, let's see what's going on. Read the report. Sordland's Ministry of Defense, General Josef Lancy, is reporting that efforts to modernize the army is complete. According to his report, our soldiers' equipment is upgraded with the newest Morna Industry Mi-20 submachine guns, a strong M55 assault rifles, blah blah blah. Furthermore, our H3 whole sword heavy tanks have been upgraded to the newest H4. Better armor, more powerful engine. Armaments will receive significant upgrades in the form of a bigger gun. Nice. Good. Like it. Private meeting with Peter. Not going to do that today. Commercial activity reports coming from Ministry of Economics display a record number of new companies are being founded in Gelsor due to the economic boom. Report also indicates an increase in logistical intake and output of the city is driving the tech company growth. The Research Council of the city has also reported positive growth for the next few years. Yes! Gelsor also reports the most visits of passengers ever, with people from Hulsel taking the high-speed train to see the city just for fun. The largest group of visitors are still scientists and students. Okay, what happened? Private prisons, yes. Yes. They should help with the overcrowded prisons and give me money. It's the most important thing. I need the mullah. Lots of it. Right, let's read the news. Central Bank liberated from the top 1%. President Sordland and Anton declared the central bank will be under the administration of the state. For so long, the central bank has been controlled by an elite few with their huge fortune made on the back of hard-working Sordish people. With their interests lies not in the good of the country, but rather in themselves, there's nothing but puppets dancing to the influences of outside nations such as Arcasia and Lesbia. President's action today has severed the strings of control from them, moving Sordland to be a powerful, independent nation as a whole. Decisive action in the Bergia Special Zone. Increased executive legal authority for the government. Fighting against the separatist movement of the BFF. The Reign administration must be praised for acting with strength and resolve on the matter. Given all the tools necessary to bring stability and order to the region. Under the extensive measures, any separatist movement will be crushed. All eyes are on the government now, where the president has received commendations from security staff. The Marine Palace was on the right side of history today, to give our country united and strong. Indeed. Geopolitical, circling over Stourport. Failed to get off the plane when it landed on Salzburg International Airport, believed to have been too drunk to get off the plane. Sounds like someone whose name begins with a G and ends with a Raymalk. Right, the assembled dignitaries waited on the airplane at the scheduled hour, but Alvarez's plane did not land. Airport officials reported that it was circling over Stalpa. After circling for 2 hours, the plane landed, but Alvarez did not come out. Lesbian officials informed Van Horton that Alvarez was unwell. The foreign master would join the meeting instead. Okay. Fine. Another step towards Rain's dictatorship. As of today, the central bank's independence is no longer. All monetary and economic decisions in the future are made solely according to the will of the government. The current chairwoman, Miss Edith, has issued a statement. The government decision today has set us back to the Dark Age, where the word freedom is just an illusionary concept. For decades we have been fighting for freedom, for democracy. Now that the country is on its knees thanks to the recession, Rain has decided to clip its wings as well. With the control of the central bank belongs to the president, political freedom has also been crushed. You are not free in your decision to invest belong to the government. You are not free if you can't express your opinion because the government is pulling you from behind. Well, I didn't expect her to be happy. Rain opens lucrative possibilities with private prisons. By allowing private prisons, didn't Rain open up a vast potential for entrepreneurs to both boost the Swordlish economy and reform the criminal justice system. The government has long sunk in too much of our tax money into public prisons while failing to take full advantage of our country's incarcerated population. Rain's decree will be a boom to Swordlish corporations looking for profitable investments and a steady supply of low-cost labour. Exactly. I'm a genius. Zone of oppression and racism in Bergia. Rune Palace has shown the racist and fascist colours by creating a special zone for Bergia where parallel laws of more oppression and racism exist for the governor to use. Rain administration only has the tool that is the hammer, and Fiend itself seeing all problems as nails. Violence creates more violence, hate creates more hate. Well, stop protesting and rioting and things like that. This zone will raise a generation of freedom fighters. President Rain has unleashed a chain of events that he's not fully aware of. Future generations will suffer for decades while the people alive now will experience a tragedy of division and hatred. I'm investing in your region. You're all going to have jobs. You're going to be fine. What kind of dystopia is President Rain setting Sordland up for with his new prison gambit? Against the wishes of the Assembly and the court and, well, pretty much everyone. Rain has decreed that private prisons would now be allowed, leaving the door open for corporations to mistreat and exploit incarcerated swords in order to make a quick rent. This change also allows the rich to enjoy quality incarceration with amenities, while most of Sordland's citizens will suffer behind prison bars and in tight cells. Sorry, I needed the money. Right, so hopefully next time we'll start having some more money from the agricultural zone. I'm hoping the economy will come up a little bit. Hoping our secret roses will get back to me so we can take out the justices somehow, or blackmail them somehow. Don't know. So yeah, just hope the economy will come up a little bit. We'll be able to have zero budget here. And yeah, get re-elected, because we're coming to the end of chapter 3, I imagine, at some point. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again next time. Take care, everyone.